This week, the trillion-dollar question is, can the market's megacaps deliver? We're talking $7.49 billion in quarterly profits, a 4.27% boost from last year. But one moment, just one, will decide the week. Will it be a blowout or a stumble? The stakes are high, with $120 billion in market value hanging in the balance. It all goes down on Thursday morning. So, what's the verdict? Will the numbers impress, or will they disappoint? The answer, much like the market's fate, hangs precariously in the balance. One misstep could send ripples, while a success could be the catalyst for a rally. The anticipation is palpable. Well, it's been a wild ride lately, and this week is shaping up to be just as unpredictable. The news cycle's been dominated by geopolitics, and it's anyone's guess how it'll all shake out. Take the Middle East, where tensions are running hotter than the desert sand. The US, Iran, and Israel are all locked in a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, with the likes of Qatar and Kuwait stuck in the middle. And then, of course, there's the situation in Ukraine, where drones have been striking the Moscow region, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. It's a powder keg, and it's only a matter of time before something sets it off. So, what does it all mean for the markets? With the global economy already on shaky ground, the last thing we need is a full-blown conflict in the Middle East. The price of oil's been seesawing, with some forecasts putting it as high as $85 a barrel, and that's going to have a ripple effect on everything from gas prices to consumer spending. And let's not forget the shipping lanes. With the Hormuz Strait a key choke point, any disruption is going to send shockwaves through the global supply chain. India, for one, is already feeling the pinch, with the government setting targets for oil companies to boost cooking gas output. So, the big question hanging over the week ahead is, can we avoid a wider conflict, or are we staring down the barrel of a global economic meltdown? It's a $7.49 trillion question, and one that's going to keep investors up at night. As the world waits with bated breath, one thing's for sure. This week is going to be a wild ride. Tuesday's earnings are all about the big reveals, and we've got three heavy hitters taking the stage. Home Depot Inc., the retail giant, is expected to post a whopping $48.7 billion in revenue and $4.88 in earnings per share. But the real question is, can they keep their momentum going in a slowing housing market? As we wait for their pre-market report, the one thing to watch is how they balance growth with the looming specter of economic uncertainty. Meanwhile, in the world of media, Baidu Inc. is looking to make waves with an estimated $32.8 billion in revenue and a staggering $11.05 in EPS. But can they maintain their dominance in the face of increasingly fierce competition? It's all about margin expansion for this Chinese search engine behemoth. And then there's iQIYI Inc., the media underdog, which is expected to report a more modest $6.5 billion in revenue and a loss per share of around -17 cents. The key here is whether they can finally turn their content creation into cold, hard cash. As all three report before the open, the stakes are high, and the market is waiting with bated breath. Wednesday is all about retail, with three big hitters reporting before the open. Lowe's Companies Inc. kicks things off, and with estimated revenue of $26.5 billion, the question is, can they keep the momentum going? One thing to watch, how they balance those top-line numbers with profitability, given the estimated $4.29 earnings per share. Meanwhile, Target Corp is looking to shake off some recent struggles, with a revenue estimate of $26.3 billion, essentially neck and neck with Lowe's. The real story, though, will be if they can hit that $2.31 earnings per share target. Can they finally give investors the turnaround they've been waiting for? And then there's TJX Companies Inc., the discount darling, with a significantly lower revenue estimate of $15.3 billion, but still an impressive $1.20 earnings per share on the table. The key for TJX will be how they navigate the shifting consumer landscape. Are they still the go-to for bargain hunters? With all three reporting, it's a chance to see who's really winning in the retail wars. Will Lowe's keep its crown, or can Target or TJX make some noise? One thing's for sure, Wednesday morning will be worth watching. Thursday's earnings are all about retail, with Alibaba Group holding Ltd kicking things off before the open. Can they justify that estimated $274.3 billion in revenue with earnings per share of around $10.62? One thing to watch, how their e-commerce business holds up against a tough economic backdrop. Then there's Walmart Inc., the brick-and-mortar giant, reporting before the open with estimated revenue of $188.8 billion and earnings per share of about 75 cents. Will their diversification efforts pay off? The key here is to see if they can maintain their market share. NetEase Inc. is another big one, with estimated revenue of $30 billion and earnings per share of roughly $15.51. The question is, can they keep their momentum in the media space going? Deere & Co., on the other hand, is expected to bring in $11.1 billion in revenue with earnings per share of about $4.84. The focus will be on whether their machinery sales can stay strong. Renew Inc. reports before the open with estimated revenue of $6.5 billion and earnings per share of around 91 cents. Their ability to expand their customer base will be under scrutiny. Lastly, Photo Holdings Ltd. rounds out the day with estimated revenue of $6.5 billion and a whopping earnings per share of approximately $21.30. The big test is whether their financial services can keep growing at such a rapid pace. With such big names, Thursday is shaping up to be a wild ride. This week, it's all about the retail and tech giants. Think Alibaba Group Holding Limited, Walmart Inc., Home Depot Inc., and the like. These behemoths are set to report, giving us a glimpse into the current state of consumer spending and the broader economy. The bull case? If these companies can deliver solid earnings, it could signal that the consumer is still strong, buoying markets. Consider this. If Walmart Inc., for instance, reports a decent quarter, it might suggest that the average American is still splurging, no matter what the economic prognosticators say. On the flip side, the bear case is that these companies will disappoint, revealing deepening cracks in the consumer's armor. Let's look at Home Depot Inc. A bad report there could imply that the housing market, a key driver of economic growth, is indeed slowing down. And then, of course, there's the tech sector, with Baidu Inc. and NetEase Inc. set to weigh in. A strong showing from these Chinese tech giants could help alleviate some of the concerns around global growth, while a weak report would only add to the pessimism. But here's the real risk. It's not just about the numbers. It's about the guidance these companies provide for the future. A downward revision in expectations could send shockwaves through the market, affecting not just these companies, but the entire sector. Lowe's Companies Inc., Target Corp., and TJX Companies Inc. will also give us insight into how retailers are navigating the current landscape. And let's not forget Deere & Co., Aichi Inc., Renew Inc., and Photo Holdings Ltd., all of which will provide valuable data points on various sectors of the economy. So, what does it all mean? Essentially, this week is about gauging the health of the consumer and the tech sector. If earnings are strong and guidance is positive, it could be a good week for markets. But if the opposite happens, we could be in for a bumpy ride. The stakes are high, and the market is waiting with bated breath. So, what's the main event this week? The one moment that decides it all? Look no further than Thursday morning, before the open, when Alibaba Group Holding Ltd. Takes the stage with its earnings. Why does it matter? For starters, it's a bellwether for the entire Chinese e-commerce space. With a market cap hovering around $550 billion, this is no small player. And let's be honest, the stakes are high. Will it beat expectations or disappoint? Tune in Thursday to find out. And that's a wrap for this week's preview. Keep an eye on retail giants like Walmart and Target as they report earnings. Meanwhile, Chinese tech firms Alibaba and Baidu will be in focus. And don't forget Deere & Co., with its massive $7.49 billion in quarterly revenue on the line. This is not financial advice. Want more? Subscribe for our daily market shorts and catch us next time.